So Daz, Omar, Freddie, welcome to Cannes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So why don't you talk a little bit about, Omar, how you got involved with SapientNitro in the first place?
My involvement with these guys in SapientNitro is actually through BU, which is, I'm Vice President of Entertainment. We're a new startup that just recently launched, and these guys were coming here to, speak about the topic of global branding and celebrity branding, and so they pulled me into the to the fold, and we hunkered down, got to work, and hopefully we had some fun.
Yeah, BU is something that BU is a platform that frankly we've taken a lot of interest in. It's a social technology platform that basically allows celebs to monetize their video content and the value of their social following. So it's all good.
Stole the pitch.
It's what I just say. It's cool. We like it, and I think through the relationships we built there, we were lucky enough to get Omar to come out today. So.
What do you guys foresee in using this technology? How do you plan to integrate it in your campaigns, into your work?
Want me to address this? Or? Yeah, cool. So, we're still looking for opportunities where we can connect it with our clients, because I think it's something new, right? To try and get people to buy into it.
So you're playing with it.
Yeah, I think there could be some great opportunities for clients. Let's say like the X Games or NASCAR, where I think there are celebs that are going to align to certain passion points that get consumers excited. So, for example, if you had something for X Games, is a purely hypothetical situation, just to be clear, so I don't have the CMO of ESPN calling me tomorrow. If you were to get celebs that are on the BU platform, let's say like Shaun White, who's got a lot of great content out there, this appeals to a very targeted and specific audience. Instead of basically, you can connect that content through the advertising on BU to drive, let's say, to the new X Games site, which will be launching in, I guess, what, 4 months, Daz?
2013.
Yeah, 2013. Okay, so a bit longer than that. Or it could be an opportunity for us to create custom content. Maybe that's people like Shaun White or a lot of the other extreme athletes they've got on the platform to maybe show themselves watching X Games content, interacting with X Games content, performing stunts that they might do actually if they're at the games, and this attracts eyeballs, and we try and connect those eyeballs back to brands. So.
This is quite a leap for SapientNitro compared to last year. Can you talk about how its vision has evolved over the past 12 months, maybe with respect to how the industry has changed?
Do you want to handle it, Daz, or I should address it?
I guess one of the key things that we've established over the last 12 months is understanding how to better operate in the dynamic experience nature we have now with digital, where there's lots of channels, lots of messages, and consumers have all the control. So we're getting a lot smarter and getting some real success in having an approach that brings together multidisciplined thinking. So the pure experience of Omar and I working together with Freddie, helping to curate, was what we call connected thinking. So bringing an expert in being a celebrity and an expert brand person together is a demonstration of that approach. We don't just marry up creative people to be creative people, we marry up creative people with technologists, celebrities, marketers and so on. And that enables us to bring together the right thinking that gives us disproportionately effective ideas in a market that's so complex. And that's our evolution internally, and hopefully we demonstrate some of the value of that today by showing that celebrities are great marketers, as are marketers, and the learnings from each other make a better result for everyone.
If you could describe SapientNitro in a phrase, how would you do it?
Oh, that's an incredibly good question. I should know a really good answer to that. Where's my PR guy? Fundamentally, we are connected thinkers, and what we bring to the table, I don't think anyone else is that approach. But not only is it getting a bunch of different people, it's curating those people and giving them the absolute right stimulus to work with. If you don't have insight, you've got nothing. So I think as an organisation, we are the people that see things that other people aren't seeing today.
Mind if I add to that?
Sure.
To try and simplify it, maybe down to a phrase, I don't think there's probably a group of more diverse set of thinkers and skill sets in any marketing or technology organization on earth right now. And when you bring all these people together, it delivers something different. It's, that's why I said we're not an agency. Don't fit the traditional agency mold anyway. We're something different, and it's just a new way of trying to solve problems. And it's just not how the other agencies think.
It is true that the background of SapientNitro is quite unique. Can you guys talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
About how SapientNitro got started, how it got into advertising and marketing, and where you guys are now.
Yeah, no problem. So, Sapient's been around for quite some time. I think early 1990s. Really started off with this strong legacy in technology, and I think a lot of people still have that perception of us. But if you actually look at SapientNitro today, the majority of our revenue is actually derived from SapientNitro, which is our marketing services arm.
Right.
So the perception of what we may have been in technology is one thing, but the reality, which is grounded firmly in our numbers, is we are the largest independent agency, digital agency in the world, and recently this became the largest digital agency in North America. So I think we're talking literally with the 10,000 total employees now, and we just crossed $1 billion in revenue. We're talking about thousands upon thousands of marketing people, and I think if you look at how we've evolved, where yes, at one point I think we kind of evolved out of technology, and then it was like user experience and design and more digital marketing, and now we find that we're just as often hiring great thinkers from kind of more traditional agencies like BBDO and so on, and that's really why we're not really just a digital agency anymore. We're creating connected experiences across all channels. We're producing the TV and print and all these things that you would expect. We're creating amazing digital experiences, and then the thing I think that makes us really powerful, frankly, is where we can go and do all your multi-channel marketing and your multi-channel commerce work, but there's no other agency that can actually go in and be like, oh, by the way, the whole way your inventory management technology platform works is actually hurting the way you interact with your customers, and we're going to rebuild that too.
Yeah.
And so you come in, and it's not just doing marketing, it's literally the ability to transform an entire company is an incredibly valuable proposition.
That's interesting that you say that, because of your unique background, technology has been a huge hallmark of what Sapient actually brings to brands. I remember a few years ago the big thing was the hardware that you bring to brands, for example, like the interactive vending machines, etc. Is it fair to say that now you guys have evolved kind of past hardware and more into social software? Is that more of the priority now?
I mean, very much so. I mean, we're doing a lot of just straight brand work for people. I think the hardware, I think for us was more of an innovation play. This was us experimenting with new things on behalf of our clients, which I think was an exciting space for us to play in.
Yeah. Well, I know that last year when we spoke, we talked about the culture of SapientNitro and how it's unique. A lot of that obviously has to do with the kind of people that went into it, and I think that's also something that you can say about the unique culture of entertainment and advertising in general. Can you guys just one by one talk to me about well, just in brief, who are you?
I think it's start with that.
Story of your trajectories, particularly you, Omar, because you come from a completely different space, or a space that people tend to think is a space apart.
Who am I? Let me stare off into space and try to find myself. No, I'm, well, first and foremost, I'm an artist, but I think, what you're trying to ask is the bridge between traditional celebrity and technology and marketing. And I think that technology has really offered a very interesting opportunity for all celebrities, whether they're musicians or writers, actors, singers, to essentially learn how to market themselves, because this is what, like in Hollywood, how many people follow you on Twitter is actually taken into account now with movie studios. They want to know, what kind of social movement do you have behind you. So I think it offers the artist creative ways to take advantage of those opportunities through new media, which can help build your profile essentially. And some will do it better than others, and it depends. Like I was telling someone else earlier, but it all depends on the particular person. Some people just want to, come out and be a skateboarder, and that's just all they want to do. Other people might have started out being a skateboarder and end up owning radio stations. Like, you know, all like if you look at someone like Jay-Z, I mean, this guy is phenomenal. I mean, he owns a basketball team, all from writing music, but that's how far he was able to see forward in terms of himself as a brand. So I think I represent that sort of mindset and innovative thoughts, creative thinking and that sort of thing, and apply it to my career as an actor. And so it's just, that's who I am. That's who I am.
I narrow it, yeah. That's good. You got, whoever the camera's like, we just got seriously.
Hey, just hearing what you were saying, Omar, I think it's interesting. We look at all three of us, we're all quite unique. I come from an advertising brand strategy background, and that's what I do. I create brands. But I have a close affinity with celebrity now, because that's the way the world of marketing's changed. In the same way that, you know, I've adapted to the technology that we have now. And, you know, when I was born, there wasn't an internet and there wasn't a mobile phone and all those sorts of things, but you move on and adapt in the same way that, you know, celebrities have adapted and become, you know, adopters and promoters of technology, or owners of basketball teams, or developers of social platforms, in the same way that, you know, Freddie's adapted over his career. And I think we're all these adaptive things now, and I think we have to be. But the great thing about our approach is that everyone's unique character brings something to the table that's worth listening to.
I just want to clarify, he did have electricity though? He had electricity, yeah. And telephones, yeah, we had telephones.
Yeah, they came later.
Yeah. I'm going to say something which may appear very odd for a guy working at a large publicly traded company. I think I'm an entrepreneur, and whether I've been an entrepreneur my whole life through my own businesses, but I think that entrepreneurial spirit is very, very important when you work within Sapient, and I think the trajectory that you know, we're trying to take as a company, and I think as I see myself kind of evolving personally, and I think being an entrepreneur is not necessarily about owning a business. I think it's about a spirit of constantly trying to evolve and innovate and try new things, and, you know, F the status quo effectively, and I think that's a core part of me that I never want to lose no matter what I do, and I think that's going to drive me long into my future.